Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the pod. Piston Distillery, Tires by Gumball 3000. We have a very special guest, Andy, ain't we?
We've got royalty here, Martin.
Hold on, royalty?
Yeah, royalty. When I saw that the Queen was coming, I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, snap, yes. We have royalty.
We've got Queen Bee.
Queen Bee in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, put some respect on Queen Bee's name.
Becky.
How are we?
We're very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I always think that when everyone's like, oh, the Queen's coming, I'm like, oh, Christ, here we go again. You know when you make an email account when you're about 16, 17?
Don't worry, we have dodgy DJ names and we can't get rid of them.
So you know exactly what it's like then. So
you're too far gone now. You can't go
I'm
back.
So far in, I can't get out. So it's like, okay, fine, we're Queen Bee.
But you rock it.
Own it.
Do you have any beef with like the Beyonce fans because you're Queen Bee?
Babes, I'm so ready. As soon as she comes for that like handle on Instagram, I'm like, here's a blank check. I'll write my number on it, have it, and I've got Becky Evans already in the background, so I'm ready for her.
We're not here to talk about Beyonce though.
No, we're not. So for people who don't know who you are, what do you do?
So I'm a presenter, content creator, always around cars, bikes, drifting, that type of thing.
She's an all-round bad girl YouTuber in the car world, right? That's right.
I mean, yes. I'm always like, I should back myself more, but yeah, definitely. Everything cars.
The quote
bike.
I received was, "She's the baddest drifter." That's what I got told.
God, who told you that?
In a good way, obviously, just with a bit of an accent.
I was
like,
oh, is that like the baddest?
No, as in great.
As in good. This is someone who's cool as well. So like.
Perfect. I'll go with that. I'll run with it.
Tell us about your drifting and your racing and that. Like.
Yeah, so the drifting started when I started working with Red Bull. So I met Red Bull when I was working at Goodwood, and they gave me an opportunity. I've grown up with go-karting, and then I did drag racing, and then they were like, okay, we're looking at accessible motorsports, and they were like, what type of thing would you like to do? And I was like, I've always wanted to have a go at drifting. So then Drift Queen was born, and it was a series that I did with them where I sort of went from a nobody knowing nothing to building a car, going to Japan, going to America, finding out all about this sport, and building the S15 to where it is today and competing in my first competition. So it was like a just a crash course in drifting.
So did you take to it like a duck to water, or was it a hard slog?
Not gonna lie, it's a difficult motorsport because you have to kind of unlearn everything that you've learned. So if you're a grip racer, you're basically asking the car to break traction. You're trying to control a car that's out of control. So it was strange to begin with, but then once you get the whole concept of oversteer and how to control it, it's super, super fun. I mean, everybody loves it when a car goes sideways. Every single car person wants to do a donut, wants to get a little bit sideways, get a bit squiggly. And then we've just taken that whole thing and created a sport around it. It's great fun.
So, I mean, in my head, when you're learning to do this, there has to be some incredible crashes and moments where you feel completely out of control. Does that happen?
100%. You have to be okay with crashing. Like when I had my first 50 mile an hour smash, I was like, whoa, okay, that's what that feels like.
It sounds terrifying.
Well, it kind of is, but at the same time, if you're not crashing, you're not trying hard enough. Like your first, second, third gear, you're doing 60 miles an hour and you're literally taking a leap of faith, being like, right, I'm going to pull the handbrake, I'm going to put a little bit of opposite lock in there, I'm going to keep my foot in and then see what happens. And if you end up upside down, nah, fine. Like I've always had really supportive people around me, and like you talk to any of the lads, the first thing they said to me, they were like, stop crying, man up, because if you're not crashing, you ain't trying hard enough. So
I love that.
Crack on, you know. Like I had to learn quick. Like my partner's a drifter as well, and he's like, I've had crashes at 100 miles an hour, so wow. Please just relax, this is nothing.
So you touched on it earlier, but like your love for BMW, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, BMW has always had a big part of my life. Obviously my first classic was a 1983 E21. That was my first sort of modified car that I took to shows, that type of stuff. And then I've had F80 M3, I've now got an E92 M3. But I'm just a German car girl. Like,
really?
Yeah.
You like pushing the German whip, yeah?
Full on. Yeah, always. It was just where I was meant to be. That's how I ended up with the Porsche. That was a car that was the poster car for me. And yeah, that's where we've got to today.
Ah, exciting stuff. So you have a Gumball cap on, which I'm very jealous of. It's my favourite one, and I don't have mine anymore. So I'm looking to maybe steal that at the end of the day.
No, it's very
Does that have
cap.
Sentimental value to you?
This has sentimental value to me because this was from 2017, maybe?
Yes.
Was it so 2017, I just started my channel. I had no idea what I was doing. I was really stressed out, still working in London, and I got the Gumball. It was a party, wasn't it, in London? They went through the streets of London. Yeah, in Tape.
Yeah.
So it was like the first gig that I was invited to as a YouTuber, and I was like, oh my God,
Oh, that's lovely.
I've made it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it was such a big deal to me because I'd never gone to a thing as this new person, which was Queen Bee, this YouTuber, this, that, and the other. And I just remember I'd worked the next day. I went to the after party at Tape. I got out at like 5 o'clock in the morning, went home, slept for 2 hours, woke up, and I was like, oh my God, so worth it. Like, and I kept, this hat is literally the thing that I kept from that. It was like a big moment in my career because not long after that I quit my job and just went full time into it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That was 2016. So you've done like crazy well in that time.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I think it's always a case of taking any opportunity and just kind of running with it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen, really? You'll fail, but at least you give it a go. And it was always that way. Like, I started YouTube, and then Red Bull picked me up, and then they were like, okay, how do you feel about live presenting? I was like, okay, I'll give it a go, I'll do that. And then it just went bang, 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 like a ping pong. Like, work hard, be nice to people, and give it your best shot. And
if your passion is genuine, which it clearly is, it shines through.
Well, it's easy to talk about something that you know implicitly, do you know? Like, for me, cars is a language, and it's also a community. So you might not, I don't know much about Morgans, but I could chat next to a guy who's got a Morgan, and we could bounce off each other, and we'd be like, okay, that's cool, yeah, okay, how does it drive? What's the gearing like? What's this? But you know, you're bouncing off people. And if you can convert that into presenting, what you're doing is essentially having the crack, chatting to people, getting to go to racing events, and having a beer at the end of it, like it's sound.
Lovely stuff.
How did you find going from the automotive world to being in YouTube and having to do it all yourself? How was your YouTube journey for you?
Painful. Like,
really?
It's hard to.
Is there any advice you give to people?
I would just say make the content that you want to make. Don't worry about anybody else. I'd always say keep your blinkers on, always keep your eye on the prize, which is you have to chase what you want to do. And yeah, just you have to work hard. Like, it's constantly innovating, constantly finding new content, constantly figuring out new ways to edit this, that, and the other. Like, I produce, edit, film, everything myself, and have done since day one.
Really?
So it's just a case of, and also learn how to do everything yourself. When I first started, I was relying on other people to help me film. I was relying on other people to help me edit, and I was like, this is slowing me down. So like, I just sat down one day and just started bashing keys. I was like, right, how do we do this? And just learn. And that just sped up my process so much. It makes your profit margins way higher with things, and you can just get stuff done.
Good stuff. Well, you've got a very, very impressive career, which we've touched on. But I think the most impressive thing that we've talked about today is you actually stayed at a club where Martin was DJing for 5 hours, and I'm speechless, to be honest.
I don't remember. I'll be honest. All I remember, I think, did Eve come on?
Eve did come on.
That's what I was waiting for. That's like, she's original, like, Rough Riders. Like, she's a queen herself, and I was like, I'm just here for this. Like, all I want to see is Eve. Like, this
did you get the Queen's snap, Eve and Queen Bee?
No, I didn't. I was too shy. I was never going to go up to her and be like, oh, can I have a picture, please? I was just like, I can appreciate her from afar. She's wicked. This is a moment. I've just seen Eve. I'm at a Gumball party. You know, when you drink it all in, and you're like, this is a moment. And that's why I kept the hat, because now I look at that and I remember coming home with it on my head and like drunk as anything. And I was like, this is great.
I love the mutual love, because both of you guys, Eve is a rapper in a very male-dominated industry, and you are a automotive expert in a male-dominated industry. How are you finding it? And is there any like advice you give to fellow females? Like, what would you suggest? How hard was it for you coming up?
At the end of the day, if you love what you're doing, you're going to sort of ignore what anybody says anyway. I think if you've got true passion for something, like, you're not going to let anything get in your way. Like, I've grown up around cars. I've always driven cars. It's like another language to me. You know, my dad was big into it. I didn't know any other way to go. I just thought, how can I turn this into a career for myself and have fun whilst I'm doing it? And that's just the way I've gone with it. And yeah, of course, like, you face all sorts of different things along the way. But at the end of the day, like, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Of course.
So you just got to crack on.
Love that. If it's easy, everybody would do it. Say that again so the people in the back can hear you.
Will we see you racing today?
Yeah, no, I've already been up the hill once. I just took the turbo up there. First of all, I forgot to put my GoPro on because I was so nervous. I've never driven it before. Like, and always you want to get get your bearings, do a little sighting lap, all the rest of it. But you obviously get really excited. The car was great. I mean, it's a big single turbo Porsche 911. I mean, those things you have to wait till they spool up and then they go. And I was in second gear, And I was like, surely this has got more to it, but you don't realise the incline, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Car sounded great. It was good fun. Next time I'll turn my GoPro on. It should be all right.
Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing the footage when it comes online.
Before you go, you mentioned that you have quite a jam-packed summer.
Yeah, it's going to be busy.
Tell us a little bit about it before you go. And if there's anything you want to plug or tell the people at home about, just let us know.
So this summer I'm back working with Red Bull. We're going to be doing 6 rounds of competition across Europe. So it'll be Red Bull Drift Masters, which is like jam-packed. It's like 57 drivers from 27 nations all coming to fight it out on the track.
Really?
Yeah, it's savage, which will be really good fun. We've got Goodwood, we've got all different things like that. Obviously, we'll be taking the 930 on some trips. I'm building my E92 road car to be like a semi-road league or drift car, which will be good fun as well. There's just lots of content, lots of fun, lots of adventures. I'm excited for it.
Semi-road legal.
Yeah, just get around that.
Look at him trying to pick up on that. I'd skate past that.
Absolutely sending me
Are
under.
there any police here, please?
Where can people catch you? Like, what's your handles? Where's your socials at and YouTube? Tell them.
So obviously my name's Becky Evans. You'll find me on YouTube as Becky Evans, but on Instagram it's Queen Bee.
Queen Bee!
Just Queen Bee. Queen and a
Until you get
bee.
that check.
Until I get the check.
Thank you for taking the time out and joining us, Becky.
No bother. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
We'll be back with some more interviews right here at the pod with the Piston Distillery, times by Gumball 3000 later on this afternoon. Who we got coming up, Andy?
Oh, we got jam-packed schedules. We got
Jam-packed!
Mr. JWW and Shmi.
Oh, looking forward to seeing those two legends.
We got a couple more automotive companies and a few special guests, I believe. So
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Becky.
No bother.